Roberto Carlos versus Maldini, two fearless defenders. The 1990s was one of the golden eras of football, particularly in Italy's premier football competition, Serie A, which was home to some of the greatest players to ever partake in the beautiful game. But this video isn't about the midfield magicians and unstoppable forwards, but the defenders who weren't afraid to share in the limelight. No two players embodied this sentiment better than Roberto Carlos and Paolo Maldini. The beautiful game is no stranger to the great defenders, but not many achieved the global fame and recognition that became the stuff of legend like these two. Come along as we compare these two legends side by side, but before we do, please subscribe to help us make more videos like this. Paolo Maldini. Paolo Maldini's rise to prominence began at the tender age of 16 when he broke into the first team at Milan. After some 3 years of strutting his stuff at the club level, he received the call-up to the Italian senior national team. From the onset, it was clear that the young Maldini was a generational talent, and he fit right in with either team. His strong physique, tactical know-how, versatility, and stamina were evident to coaches at the time, and served him for his lengthy career, which lasted well over 2 decades. One of the greatest coaches of all time, Sir Alex Ferguson, once remarked that Maldini was so good at reading the game and getting into the right positions that he didn't have to make a single tackle all match long. For all his strength and ruthlessness in the game, though, Maldini wasn't an errant player, amassing a mere 3 red cards across the length of his playing time for both club and country. To put those numbers in scale, the wily Sergio Ramos bagged an impressive 4 red cards in a single calendar year. Maldini was also a great reader of the game, helping him to get into the right positions early enough. This quality was the most essential in his repertoire because it allowed him to clear the ball and time his tackles perfectly. Consistency for club and country matured Maldini into a leader of men, also contributing to his career longevity at Milan, then one of the biggest and best clubs in Italy and the world at large. This quality also puts Maldini in the Club of Legends, comprising 18 players who made over 1,000 appearances for both club and country. For the about 25 years of his career, Maldini bagged an impressive 23 trophies, including 5 Champions League Cups and 7 Serie A titles, a most impressive feat among players in his time. In 2004, he was included in the FIFA 100 list of the greatest living players of the beautiful game. Suffice it to say that players like Maldini aren't your everyday FIFA regions. He may not have won the Ballon d'Or ahead of Cannavaro, but the great Paolo Maldini is one of the greatest defenders to ever step on a pitch, and there's no guarantee there will ever be any like him again. All in all, Paolo Maldini was a solid defender who consistently performed at the top of his game. His leadership skills, tactical awareness, and discipline set him apart from other legends of the game. Roberto Carlos. Not too much like Paolo Maldini, Roberto Carlos also came into prominence at a young age. By 1996, he was already donning the proud colors of Los Blancos, where he would be a key character in the string of successes that found the club. However, while Maldini was a defensively minded defender, Carlos was an attacker in the guise of a left-back. He had the natural flair, pace, and skills of a winger, and when partnered with Cafu for Brazil, both men were menaces on the loose. Carlos' offensive attributes also came with the versatility that allowed him to play as a wingback, and in a time not lacking in free-kick maestros, he was a god. Carlos possessed quite the incredible long-range shot that was feared by goalies, courtesy of his explosive left foot. No better goal perfectly captures the brilliance of Carlos than in 1997, when he bagged a free-kick goal against France. The combination of raw pace and physical prowess made Carlos a terrifying opponent on the left flank. Add to that his insane crossing, which helped kickstart attacks or create goal chances. But Carlos wasn't just offensively sound alone. His defensive stats also spoke volumes and helped him secure 3 Champions League trophies for Real Madrid, amongst several La Liga titles. At the national level, Roberto Carlos was an equally decorated player, helping Brazil to win the FIFA World Cup in 2002. He was also a crucial player in his side winning the Copa America and FIFA Confederations Cup in 1997 and 1999. All in all, Roberto Carlos was an exceptional defender with offensive and defensive outputs that added versatility and multi-dimensions to his game for both club and country. He goes down as one of the most recognizable names in football history. Both Paolo Maldini and Roberto Carlos played as left-backs in their time, and both were versatile in other roles as well. Maldini could push into the heart of the defense and play as a center-back, while Carlos could play a little up the pitch as an offensive wing-back. He tended to favor this offensive style in his time, indulging in marauding runs and seeking to exploit offensive situations on the left flank. In terms of offensive capabilities, the better player is Roberto Carlos, without a doubt, due to his wing play, god-tier free kick ability, incredible pace, and amazing left foot. However, he wasn't the most positionally aware player and was often on the wrong side of the linesman's flag. Additionally, defensively, Carlos was pretty decent compared to his better offensive stats. That meant he was often in risky situations and had to rely on his pace to bail him out. Paolo Maldini, on the other hand, was your traditional full-back with a defensive mindset. Whether playing on the left or in the center, he was rock solid and was arguably the most reliable defender on his team. Although he didn't offer the dynamism of Carlos' play style that balanced both offensive and defensive duties, he had excellent technique, world-class awareness, and a great eye for reading the game, which made him a solid option for stopping an attack and kick-starting a counterattack. Maldini's fitness and endurance levels were also nothing to scoff at, and you could expect consistent performances from him at all times. Add to that the fact that he was a disciplined player, and you could expect him to keep a cool head and keep his teammates in line at all times, especially in high-pressure games or moments. Both players displayed insane levels of ruthlessness and toughness with how they executed their jobs on the pitch, significantly contributing to their successes at club and national levels. Paolo Maldini was a one-club player, starting and ending his career at AC Milan, where he helped the Rossoneri to 7 Serie A titles, 5 UEFA Champions League titles, 5 Supercoppa Italiana, and 1 Coppa Italia. On the international stage, he was a finalist at the 1994 and 2000 FIFA World Cup and UEFA European Championship competitions, respectively. A highly decorated career for one of the best defenders in the world. Roberto Carlos played for AC Milan rivals, Inter Milan, before joining the Los Blancos in 1996. It was in Spain that he left his mark on the game, helping his side clinch 4 La Liga titles, 3 UEFA Champions League titles, 2 Intercontinental Cups, and 1 UEFA Super Cup. He was just as proficient on the international stage, copping the FIFA World Cup in 2002, the FIFA Confederations Cup in 1997, and 2 Copa America in 1997 and 1999. Despite a stellar career, the only time Maldini's legacy is called into question is that he never replicated any of his club's success on the international stage. Make no mistake, Italy was no pushover at the time and made it to the finals of both the Euro Cup and FIFA World Cup. Unfortunately though, Maldini was on the losing end of both games. It was even sadder when Italy missed out on the 1994 World Cup based on penalties. While no one explicitly blames Maldini for Italy not making it in both games, the absence of an international trophy remained a looming cloud over his career. For Roberto Carlos, glory followed him to the international stage, where his unique playing style helped Brazil clinch several titles, including international trophies like the FIFA World Cup and the FIFA Confederations Cup, and 2 continental trophies in Copa America. In the end, both players enjoyed stellar careers that cemented their legacies in the sport, despite not playing in the midfield or final third positions that tend to receive more focus for recognition and awards. Their abilities, skills, versatility, and trophy cabinets are proof of their exceptional contributions to club and country. Now it's your turn to share which of these defenders you found most fascinating. Join the conversation in the comment section. Until then, stay tuned for our next video.